And good morning, everyone. Welcome into another edition of Conklin Company. Today on the program, here comes the election. Are you ready? Are the boards of elections ready? Are the candidates ready? We have one-on-one interviews with the Senate candidates today. Incumbent Democrat Sherrod Brown, Republican challenger, State Treasurer Josh Mandel a little bit later. Also, we're going to take you behind the scenes, behind the ropes of the interviews with the presidential candidates, with the people who have conducted those interviews. Diane Larson, Bill Horman, yours truly, will join us a little bit later as we go behind the scenes. But first, we want to bring in the Take 3 crew first, just 2 days until the election. Rob Ludeman from Toledo City Council lending a conservative voice here to the Take 3 panel, and London Mitchell from our media partner, Cumulus Radio. It's great to have you guys. We're going to do this first. Okay. Here comes one of the most important elections we've had in decades. Right. So 2 days out, and here comes this October surprise in the form of this superstorm, this Frankenstorm.
Not the October surprise they expected.
No, but certainly something that may impact what happens with the vote count, especially with the incredible population in the Northeast. It's really unprecedented, Rob. What do you anticipate? What could happen in relation to Sandy?
Weather in November can always have an impact on an election. I remember in '93, my first election, it was so cold that day I thought, are people actually going to come out to the polls? Your dedicated voters will go out. You've had early voting that's gone on for quite some time. Absentee voting has been probably pretty heavy. I haven't checked, but so people all over the country have had the opportunity to vote up to this point, and will continue through on Tuesday. Could it have an effect in New Jersey and New York, especially New York City? Potentially, but hopefully by that time the roads will be cleared, people can get out. If they really are dedicated to voting, then they'll make the effort to get there.
They're going to vote. They're going to run a marathon.
Right, marathon
today as the show airs on Sunday.
Right.
So the New York City Marathon. A lot of controversy over that, no question. London, your thoughts, Sandy and the election?
I just think that we should prepare for a real nightmare, because they're not only facing all the issues and as Rob mentioned, the early voting and the extra vote counting strategies that go into that, but they're changing polling locations on people, and they're bringing in portable generators to run machines. And in some places, I've heard that they're going to go back to paper ballots when they should be having the machines under normal circumstances. I can't believe that we're going to see a resolution to this election Tuesday night.
Former Ohio Secretary of State Ken Blackwell comes out this past week and says, hey, we've got a lot of absentee ballots, 250,000 out there, and if everybody doesn't utilize them and vote absentee, send them in, decides to go to the polls on election day, hey, I want to vote in person, then you got to wait 10 days to count their ballot. It's a provisional ballot. So Wednesday, we're going to know who the president is, Rob?
Well, I would hope so. I would hope so, because the year that it went on into December, there was so much uncertainty in the stock market, the real estate market. It affected everybody right on down the line, because we didn't know officially who was going to be president because of what went on in Florida. But I heard for the first time this year from a good number of constituents their reluctance to vote absentee. For some reason, they didn't feel secure in that their vote would count. I don't know why, but there was some. I've heard that from more than a few people. I voted absentee before. I've gone and voted early before. I want to go to the polls this time and pass the gauntlet of folks handing out literature for all the levies and such. But I feel good about going in on election morning early and casting my vote.
Current Secretary of State John Husted said, London, hey, it's going to be all right.
It's going to be all right, he said.
We're cool.
It's going to be all right. We'll know Tuesday night. I don't know about that.
Yeah, you're smirking a little bit.
We'll see. Yeah.
You know, but it is so close, and you need a scorecard to know which candidate, whether it's VP or the presidential candidate, is in Ohio. It's Bill Clinton one day. It's Paul Ryan. It's President Obama. It's GOP nominee, former Governor Romney. Every single day now, leading up to this Tuesday.
And Ann Romney coming through with her motorcade. Yeah. And everybody else. I think that we're going to get used to having all this attention. I'm not sure. Come Wednesday, we're going to be knowing what to do with ourselves.
A blessing or a curse. It depends on what, the way you look at it.
But I think one of the things that has popped up over and over again, at least at the radio stations, I get communication from people wanting to know, all the controversy about some of the election spots, because you've got those the spots that have been really contentious, I think, between Josh Mandel and Sherrod Brown. You've got the big controversy just recently about the Mitt Romney spot having to do with Jeep and whether the production is being outsourced or not. And I'm feeling I'm on the ropes. Why are you running these commercials if there is so much controversy? And I think people don't realize that federal election law says we can't edit or do any disclaimers on those presidential or anybody running for a federal office. Well,
we got an email here last night about one of the Chrysler ads. I forget if it was the pro-Romney ad or the pro-Obama ad, but said basically we should be ashamed of ourselves for running the ad. And we don't control over what the candidates and their campaigns put in the ads.
Well, and London and I were talking before the show. I said I will be so happy when Tuesday is over, mainly because I can turn on this radio station in the morning and not hear a barrage of a lot of negative stuff, which is really unfortunate. So I guess that'll be a good thing, that we can turn on the radio and TV and not have to listen to it. But you are hand-strapped by what you can do and can't do. And I think it's unfortunate in any election when it starts to go negative. And it seems to go there at the end, especially the last couple of weeks. To be honest with you, I think that will turn some voters off. Will they want to go to the polls? I'm just sick and tired of both of them.
Absolutely.
Depending, so.
And to that end, our local advertisers lose out.
Right.
Don't have a chance to get in until after the election, and
can't buy a spot.
Yeah. So it's, but we welcome them back.
Yeah.
When we get on the air on Wednesday morning. So we look forward to that. Locally, so many tax issues, levy issues on the ballot. London and I touched on this a bit last week, but Rob, in the city itself, what is it, 7? If you live in the city of Toledo?
Yeah, we've got the school levy, Metro Parks, the new park levy that's being proposed. That's a 10-year levy. The school levy is a 10-year levy. Again, we talked ahead of time. I said I've talked to a lot of constituents who have this no, no, no feeling. They're just going to go no, 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 which hurts your library, your Metro Parks, other ones that really need to make things go. And to be honest with you, there were 3 of us on council, myself, Tom Winooski, and George Saranto, who voted not to put that parks levy, city parks levy,
all Republicans.
Well, the timing is not great, the economy is not great, and with all these other levies on the ballot, I don't like telling people how to vote one way or another as an elected official either. That's their right to make that determination. But I thought when the economy's better, that might be a better time to look at a parks levy. Everybody wants great parks and facilities, but I just thought the timing was pretty.
But it's priorities, where you are in your life, and how your pocketbook is doing. There's no question about that. We did a story this past week, the conservative coalition of Northwest Ohio, and all no's all the way down the line. So there is some organized opposition out there. So, okay, we come to Tuesday. What, can I ask you for a prediction? Or you're not going to go there as a journalist, London Mitchell? What's your anticipation? How close?
I think it's going to be very close. If you're talking about the presidential race, I think that my own gut feeling is that the popular vote is going to be very, very tight, but or the vote. But I think that in the Electoral College, President Obama will get it.
The incumbent. And Rob Ludeman, do we have a new president-elect?
We will.
Wednesday morning?
4 years ago, I would have said Barack Obama would win. I just thought that coming off of the last term of the former president wasn't that great. John McCain was a weaker candidate than Mitt Romney. I think he's come on strong. And I think looking back 2 years ago, the change in Congress, the same thing's going to happen this time to the Senate and to the presidency, so Romney will win.
Rob Ludeman, Toledo City Council. London Mitchell, thanks very much for coming in the Conklin Company before the election. Appreciate it. All right, we're going to continue in just a minute, take you behind the ropes, behind the scenes of those one-on-one interviews when we come back.